Chapter 3. There was music from my neighbor's house through the summer nights. In its blue gardens, men and girls came and went like moths among the whisperings and the champagne in the stars. At high tide in the afternoon, I watched his guests diving from the tower's fret, or taking sun on the hot end of his beach, while his two motorboats slid the waters of the sound, drawing aquaplanes over carrots of foam. On weekends, his Rolls-Royce became an omnibus, bearing powers to and from the city, between 9 in the morning and long past midnight, while his station wagons scampered like a brisk yellow above the middle trains. And on Mondays, 8 servants, including an after gardener, told the lady mops and scrubbing brushes and garden shears, and hammers and garden shears, preparing the ravages of the night before. Every Friday, 5 crates of oranges and lemons arrived from a further in New York. Every Monday, these same oranges and lemons left his back door in a pyramid of purple halves. There was a machine in the kitchen which could extract the juice of 200 oranges in half an hour, if a little button was pressed 200 times by a boiler stone. At least once a fortnight, a corps of carolers came down with several hundred feet of canvas and enough colored lights to make a Christmas tree of Gatsby's enormous garden. On buffet tables, garnished with glistening dove, spiced baked hams crowded against stylus of Harlequin designs, and pastry pigs and turkeys bewitched to dark gold. In the main hall, a bar with a real brass rail was set up. I stocked with gins and liqueurs and with cordials, long forgotten that most of his female guests were too young to know one from another. By 7 o'clock, the orchestra had arrived. No theme fight is fair, but a whole people of oboes and trombones and saxophones and violins and cornets and piccolos and low and high drums. The last singers from the beach. The last singers have come in from the beach now and are directing upstairs. The cars from New York are parked 5 feet in the drive, and they're ready to halls and salons and parlors and gaudy private cars and hair showing in strange ways and show shows beyond the dreams of cocktail. The bar is in full swing, flowing rounds of cocktails from yet the garden outside until the air is alive with chatter and laughter and casual innuendo and interactions between and interactions forgot on the spot and enthusiastic meetings between women who never knew each other's names. The lights go brighter as the earth lurches away from the sound, and now the orchestra is playing yellow cocktail music, and the opera voices pitches a key higher. Laughter is easier, minute by minute, filled with prodigality, tipped out at a cheerful word. The girls change more swiftly, swell with new arrivals, is already informing the same breath. Red Day wonders, confident girls weave here and there among the stars, become for a sharp, joyous moment, the center of a group, and then excited triumph glide on through the sea change of faces and voices and glower under the constantly changing light. Suddenly, one of the shifts in trembling apple seized the cocktail out of the air. There was a sound for chorus like Frisco dances out on the canvas platform. A momentary hush. The orchestra visitor very seated and obligingly forward, and there's a burst of chatter as the Iranian music goes around that she's gilded grace understudy from the follies. The party has begun. I believe that on the first night I went to Gatsby's house, I was one of the few guests who had actually been invited. Before not invited, they went there. They got into automobiles, which brought them out to Long Island, and somehow they ended up at Gatsby's store. Once there, they were introduced by somebody who knew Gatsby, and they conducted themselves according to the rules of behavior associated with amusement park. Sometimes I came and went without having met Gatsby at all. Came for the party with a simplicity of heart that was its own ticket of admission.